Just put into the chat whether you can hear me now. Hopefully we should resolve all the technical issues. So please let me know if you can hear me, or just type in there if you can hear me. I should be back on because it tells me I'm live and the red button is on. So that tells me I'm live, and you should be able to see my face right now if you are live as well. Yes. Okay. Thumb up. Very, very good. So I'm about to go right back, and we're going to start the whole nine, yeah, the whole shebang. So bear with me 1 second, and we're just gonna go back to the front. The story might be boring, so you might not hear everything, or you might not want to hear everything. Just bear with me 1 second. And you know what, Barbara talking about wanting to do webinars. This is what happens sometimes on the webinars, right? So you have webinars, and then you have some technical glitches. So thank you so very much. Okay, as I was saying, if you got this, or those who just coming onto the call, because I know there's one or two new people that might have just come onto the calls, this is what you're gonna get today. So my promise to you guys is, when you're on this call, at the end of this call, right, we're gonna share with you the 3 laws of any online business, right? It's absolutely crucial, regardless of what your traditional business is. Here we're operating online, and you see some of the statistics I will share with you, especially on Facebook. Why is that important, rather than just holding on to your business? And I'll tell you what your real business is, not what you're doing right now, but what your real business is. So I'm going to share with you that the 3 laws. I'm going to also share with you the secret ingredients, some of the top marketers online use. And we're going to have a look at Facebook and some of Facebook secrets. I'm also going to go into Facebook Live so that we can go and see some of the messages and how I communicate with people and how I build rapport, and where to find some of the best prospects if you're looking for prospects. Also at the end, which is not there, I'm going to share with you how you can also monetize people that you come in contact with, that maybe may not be upfront for your opportunity, how you can do that and how you can make money out of that. Okay, so as I said, just a little bit about me. I was sleepwalking into this industry. I knew nothing about my background. Grew up back in Liberia. My parents are both Liberian and South African. So grew up in Liberia, and because of the war, I came over to the UK. But I always loved business. I've been fascinated about business. Just I'm supposed to free myself not to work for anyone. My mom used to say it's probably because I didn't want to work so much, but I worked so much hard, yeah. So I literally stumbled across this, bought a magazine, a home working from home magazine, read an article in the magazine, and I really did not believe the article in the magazine. And I hope some of you guys can relate to this. So if you can, put a comment in there that you can relate to it. I didn't believe it because one, the amount they were asking to start the business was just unbelievable. I was just like, okay, this is not real. The second thing was like, okay, can you really sit at home and do a business when everybody's being told it breaks a model? But one of the things I realized, having been in this industry for the last 10 years, and the thing that got me successful were the people that I surrounded myself with, with mentors and the system. And I'll come to that a little bit. But yes, me there with Stephen Covey. I ran an event with Stephen Covey when I worked with a training company. One of the highlights of my life. With my own company there, the car in the middle of one, a company car for about a month. You would not even believe a little boy from back in Liberia was driving, a Porsche Boxster. I was like, out of this world, and the other picture on there, I wanted to see Joe Vitale because of personal development. So I put, someone said, you know what, you can visualize and do this and things will happen. So I'm like, okay, you know what, I want to see Joe Vitale. And I put it out there, and I happened to go to the conference that Joe Vitale was. So I was just literally blown away. So had to went to see, this is one of my mentor, Matt Morris. For those of you who know Matt Morris, he's been in the industry for the last, I think, 15 years or so. Slept in the back of his car when he started network marketing and personal development. And what I realized, what drove me all along, is this huge, massive desire to do well, right? This huge, massive desire in terms of what is it? Why am I doing it? Those are the things that kept me going. So for those of you who are here today, there's something I really want to ask you. And whether you've done it before, two questions, right? The first thing is why do you do this? Because unless we understand why we're doing it, and you might say, oh, well, Tom, you know what, somebody told me yesterday or the week before, and I understand it. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're not writing that down now, there'll come a time tomorrow you may not want to write it down. So write why you're doing it. Why are you on this course anyway? What is it that you're here to get out of? Because whatever it is that you write down, if we don't deliver it today, then you know what, at some point we'll find a way to deliver. But the minute you put it out there to the universe, and I strongly believe in that, you tend to get what it is that you're looking for. So put down what it is that you're looking for. You know, the Wright brothers, when they wanted to fly, they just had a burning desire that they wanted to find an instrument that could take them from one part of the world to, in fact, just one part of the country to another. And they weren't thinking about flying around the world. Because of their desire and their why and the big why, the way we travel today is literally changed. So think about why it is that you want to do, you're doing what it is that you're doing. And something my mentor said to me, rather than focusing on why, sometimes maybe flip the script. Who do you want to be? You know, what the sort of person you want to be. You want to be the person that want to impact the world. Then those, again, linked with your why will drive you literally. So I would say flip the script a little bit. All right. Flip the script, because once you know, Gandhi said, you know, be the change you want in the world. So if you look at your own business, and especially Barbara, who leading the team, and for those of you who on the team, because all of us here are leaders. So not just because Barbara was the catalyst to get us onto this call, to get you onto this call, but you guys are leaders. And talking about leadership, Barbara, I really wanted to just say thank you so very much for this amazing opportunity to be able to work with you guys. And also, you know, for me, we're not just working together now. I found somebody that I can do some work with. Now, always open to learning from other leaders in the industry. And regardless of where you are, I'm always open to learn. So I'm sure we're going to do some collaboration and do some things in the future. So I really just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for this thing. And for all of you guys also that are on the call, I really want to appreciate your time, because I know you all are busy and got something else you're going on this week. Okay. So let's look at the 3 laws of online business and why that is important. You know, if I look at the likes of Rick Higdon, and if you don't know this guy, check them out on Facebook. If we go on Facebook, I'll pick up 1 or 2 of them so you get to see them. All the top leaders, right, apply these rules to their business. It doesn't matter whether you're in the health industry, whether you're in whatever, you know, the drinks or whatever it is, all the top leaders then apply this to their business. If you're not doing that right now, then I'm glad you're on the call, right? So let's look at the first rule now. Again, the first rule is, you know, how can I put this? Most people that do this business always focusing on, I did a video, and I think the first time I spoke with Barbara, talk to Barbara there. Most people that are involved in this business look at their primary business and say, okay, this is the business I'm in, right? So they focus, say, for example, if I'm in the juice business or our company are doing juice, then they focus on the juice, okay? But this thing is not about, you know, the company you with, because, you know, we know from experience, we've been around for a little while, the company goes out of thing. What these guys do is finding a way to literally brand themselves, you know, find a way to make sure that people know them on social media. So that way, when you're not with your company anymore, you know that you're going to be around. So people are not just chasing, they're not chasing your company, so to speak, right? But they're literally after you. And so that's the first thing you really want to do. The first thing you want to do is to make sure that people know you use attraction marketing. How do you do that? Through attraction marketing. And what do I mean by that? Basically, the first thing you want to do is to be giving value, so that way people know you. Now, if I was to go on, all of you that's on this call right now, and were to look at your page, or even went onto my page, in fact, if you went onto my page and some of the leaders' page, it will be hard for you to tell what business they're into. And I'm not saying don't, you know, like your business or whatever it is. What I'm saying is, it is not about your business. I promise you, it's not about your business. If it was that way, the company would not need you. Okay? It's about you. It's about branding you, yourself. It's about finding a way where people will come to you. And then when they come to you, you find a way to tell them about what it is that you're doing. Find out what it is, what their pain is, and how your business can then help them. Rather than saying, okay, well, I'm in the juice business, or I'm in the clothing business, or whatever business is it, in the chocolate business. No one really cares unless they know how much you care, right? So it's about attraction marketing. News that all successful leaders literally embrace attraction marketing, and the principle involved in it to build it. And think that's how the conversation started. How can we do that? So that's the first law, right? Every one of the top leaders apply that. The second law in there is about branding yourself. I cannot overemphasize this. Just branding you and building yourself out there so people get to know you. Listen, nobody buy product from people and brand unless they really like them and trust them. So that's the first thing. No one will buy anything from you or from me, for that matter, unless they like you, unless they trust you. So if that was in the case, right, it would have gone straight directly to your company. But the company realized that we as ambassadors of the company or reps or whatever name you want to call yourself, right, it's through us. That's why it's called network marketing. Network through your network. So the company realized the power of your network. But with social media nowadays, right, I can talk to 1,000 people just by doing Facebook Live all of a sudden. If you wanted to reach that, our Facebook, the amount of people we have on Facebook literally is about, I think, 5,000 members you can have or friends in one. And then you can set up as many businesses you want to have or business account on Facebook. So think about that for a minute, right? People will come to you if you brand yourself or you start to build yourself. And then once you this person that is branded and the people can trust and they like, then they'll come to you. Because when you do that, you create trust, authority, and then that credibility in the eye of the prospect, which is something you want to do. Okay, so that's the second law. The third law is your business, growing your business. And when I mean by growing your business, I'm not talking about your whatever it is you're in right now. Okay, I'm not talking about your juice business or your cold water business or whatever the business. I'm talking about your business as in your list. Guys, if you do not have a list, if you're not building a list right now, if they're close, let's imagine for whatever reason your primary business as in what it is that you're involved in right now was to close down. What do? And you went to a second business, or maybe you saw a better opportunity somewhere that align with what it is and who you are. And then what happens after that? Are you gonna start over after you're making maybe few thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or pounds, and then you're gonna start the whole ball over? So your business, in essence, your real business is the list of your customer and prospects and the relationship you build with these guys. What is a list? If you don't know what a list is, so think about all of us going on Facebook or on a website where we're being asked to put in our email address. So when someone comes to your website and enter their email, their name and their email address, they become a subscriber. So that's what your list is. Okay, so that's your core business, because that's the only thing you can take away. So if you were in a juice business and you left it and you wanted to go in, I don't know, shoes business, for example, if that's such a thing, right? You can take that whole list with you, because those people have trusted you. They build that relationship with you, have that relationship. You can now take that list and move somewhere else and literally start overnight and start making money out of that. So your list is, I cannot even stress it. In 2 years, you need to do that. But with all the lists, you cannot just do anything on building your brand and your business. And it's very, very important that you do that. Okay. So we just literally gone through the three laws, and I like to teach like I'm in some school. So bear with me if every now and then I'm coming back to remind you. So the first law is, well, you talk attraction marketing. The second one is about branding and building yourself. And then the third law is what your real business is, and which is your list. So I want to look at Facebook, because think about it. When you're talking about social media, most people, the first name they think about. In fact, maybe if you type it in there, what comes to mind when someone mentions social media to you? What comes to mind? What some of the social media or the apps that comes to mind when someone talk about social media, right? Facebook. Facebook is the number one, social media platform out there, without a shadow of doubt. Why is that? Think about it for a minute. In fact, I think without Facebook, this whole social media, boom, or what we talked about would not have been happening at all. Okay, so when Mark Zuckerberg and his buddy decided to do Facebook, right, they had one thing in mind, only one thing. It was this whole way they could interact. In fact, they were trying to chase girls. So how could they get girls to like them and hang around with them, whilst they were at school, at university? So the whole idea behind social Facebook is that social element. A lot of us forget when we go onto that we forget that, and we then do something completely different. It's about socializing. So please, please, please remember that. So let's have a look at Facebook. Let's have a look at Facebook for a minute and think about it. What do you think? What is Facebook? If you think about it, I want to see what I can see some of you guys chat out in there. So Barbara say keep Barbara. Okay, so if you have any keep getting cut off saying I must pay, but I have. Are you still on right now, Barbara? If you are, I think you're the only person that have that issue, and we'll try to resolve it, Barbara. But just hang in there. Are you live right now, Barbara? Okay, so let's look at what Facebook is. Okay, because for a lot of people, I think they don't understand what Facebook is. I know it sounds like it might sound like a silly question, but actually it's a very, very important one, right? Because if you look at Facebook is a social network, right? It is a social network. And for most people, that might seem like a very, very simple explanation. But think about these stats, right? Facebook is one of the meeting places for almost 20% of the world population. 20% of the world population. Okay, so it's one of it's there. The greatest social experiment by far in human history. Facebook has 1.6 billion users, right? It's one of the most valuable property ever there is. These guys, Mark Zuckerberg and his buddy, they'd be laughing. But when it started, it was just a concept about connecting to people. Let's see, guys, how we can get some girls and go out and drink. That's all they were when they were in university, right? It accounts for, like I said, 20% of all the time spent online. 20%. Think about that. 20% of all the time spent online is done on Facebook. So now, what can Facebook really do for your business? Remember, I talked about your primary business. What is it that Facebook can do for your business or your list, actually, which is crucial? What can Facebook do for it? So if you look at it, the first thing is about traffic. So Facebook, can be, for me, it's like the instant source of traffic to your website. You can take people from Facebook and literally take them to your website. We've been recently, the guys in my team have been using Facebook to literally do live presentations. So we're taking people from Facebook and then literally to go show them a presentation in our direct opportunity. Now, some like, some don't like, but that's the name of the game. So you can have traffic. You can take people from Facebook literally and have them straight onto your website. Facebook can also be used to build presence on your fan page or in your group, or you can use it literally to engage people. You can use it as a way of generating sales, either directly on Facebook or maybe through ads conversion or Facebook. But the cool thing, what I like also is that, as I said, right, Facebook is then used. You can use that mindshare where you literally collaborating with people. You can use it. It has an amazing tools that a lot of us don't know about, that you can use it for market intelligence. And again, this is not the training for it, but there's ways you can use. You can literally track people, see where they're going anywhere. You know, every time we're going onto a website now or onto another platform, there's a way you can use Facebook to log in. So Facebook is literally tracking everything that we do, literally everything. Okay, Facebook is literally tracking everything that we do, and it's crazy. So if people aren't going to, Facebook to maybe solve people problem, what are they going there for? What are people going on Facebook? Because most people think people go there literally to buy stuff. You're not going there to Facebook to buy stuff. They're not going there to solve problems, because people post a lot of things or want to sell things directly. So if you're one of those people that are taking your link, for example, and putting it onto your wall to say, oh, please like my thing, or every time you say hello and you put a link to your opportunity, that's not what it's there for. Okay, so sooner or later, Facebook will be changing the algorithm and they will literally ban you, or they will close your website down. So if that's the only thing you got out of this training today, that was worth thousands and thousands of dollars to your business. Sooner or later, Facebook will close your page down if you just start to spam people. Okay, so be very mindful. So why do people go on Facebook? If people aren't gonna dare to maybe sell thing or solve their problem because or get a solution for Facebook. So let's have a look at the reason why people are on Facebook. There's about 3 reasons mainly why people are on Facebook. And for me, one of the lady that I follow and a mentor that I'll bring out, Maria, up in literally embodies all of those reasons in a very short way, and I'll share that with you, right? But the very first reason, or the primary reason, is to connect. You know, and I know, Barbara, know that through Facebook you met some friends that you probably haven't seen for a very long time. You're like, oh my God, you're on Facebook as well, and it almost feels like the person is next door. It's amazing how through Facebook now we can talk to people. This morning I had a conversation, or early this morning, around about 1 o'clock, I was having a conversation with someone in Australia. We were cracking jokes, we were laughing because we're in the same team, and it just felt that the person was just next door to me. So the very first reason is about connection, and that's important for us, right? As human beings, we crave that connection. So Facebook has allowed us to be to use that to create connection and become almost like the primary users on that platform. So we're connecting all these communities, society, people from different walks of life, from different social economic background. We're connecting. That's the very first reason why we're on Facebook. So if you're not connecting, basically, if you're spamming people, then like I said, sooner or later your account will get shut down. The second reason why we're on Facebook is to share. Okay, that's the next primary reason. Is everybody wants that self-significance. So when you go on holiday or you just done a jog and you feel good about it, you want to post that picture on Facebook so everybody knows what it is that you're doing. That's the basic human need, right? To feel significant. So we want to feel significant. So Facebook has given us that platform, and again, we'll go look at your profile and you can see some of the things you do, or check out my profile and you see some of the things that we do there, right? Everybody wants that. Whether we like it or not, it's just a basic human need. Who wouldn't want to be told, well done, or you look very good, or when you're going jogging or you're eating whatever product you're eating and you have this, 6 pack, as my son would say all the time, right? You want the world to recognize that. You want your friends to say, oh, well done. Okay, so that's the second reason why we're on Facebook. So again, if you're not sharing, if you're not giving value, if you're not giving information to people, then you're going to lose your account. And why is that important? Because if you lose your account, your source of income is gone. So you may as well, pack up house, go back to Africa, go back to Liberia and just, cry, because you're just going to lose revenue. And like I said, that's about 1.6 billion people. So if you just had a sliver of that 1.6 billion people that's using Facebook, right, you're done. And so what's the third reason? Why are people on Facebook? The third reason is just to be entertained and maybe informed. Okay, that's it. If you're doing a normal 9 to 5 and all you did was went to work, answer phone, went back home, went to work, answer phone, and went back home, right? There's nothing's happening. Your day just gets so boring and bleak. So what happens is that it breaks up the monotony of the day. We get to escape just for an instant, for a brief moment, and feel that slice of goodness when we see somebody maybe sending a very good personal development video, or somebody's done something great, even though it's not us, but we feel good. We align with that person. We become part of that person's story and that person's joy. And for a minute, we forget our little problem, whatever it is, or forget about work, or escape for a few minutes. Whatever that time is, it allows us to do that. It could be, say, for example, a phone code or image, or just a grumpy cat, wherever it is, right? Sharing content on social media is entertaining. And that's why Facebook allow us to have all these pages and fans that belong. Say, for example, we have celebrity, we have, Cristiano Ronaldo has his own page there. We're almost like, can you imagine 1.9 million fans following Ronaldo? So if you're a football person, that's somewhere you can pick up people because you have some similarity to them. And I talked about where I'm going to share with you where you can get the best prospect from. Well, if you're a football lover, then go check out maybe someone like Ronaldo and have some similarity, because when you're talking to this person, you might say, well, you know what, I love Man United if you're not a fan, or wherever the team is. Just a disclaimer, I am not a United fan, so when you meet me tomorrow, don't tell me about United or anything like that. Or maybe you like Beyonce or Shakira or Van Diesel or Eminem. All of those people are the personal development leaders, Robert Kiyosaki. The best introduction, the best product, right, are being offered when people inform us rather than direct selling to us. The best time we buy when people informing us or telling us, oh my God, I met a girl a few days ago on LinkedIn, and all I said to her, reading her profile, she's doing a million and one things. So I read a fantastic book and I recommended the book to her. I said, you know what, you'll love this book because it will give you a way to focus all the things that you're doing. And she said, oh my God, great, I'm gonna get a book. So I said, don't worry about the book, I'll send you the book. I wasn't sending her the book because she couldn't afford a book or so, but it's a way of building rapport. Now we talk a lot. I haven't told her about what it is that I do in terms of my primary business, but through that we've been talking quite a lot, and I've linked up with one or two of my friends up in Dubai that do something that she does. So in the property business, she's involved in property. So we're building rapport. But it's the best time when we're selling is when we're informing people rather than direct selling. And one of the ladies that does that, I've been following her for the last year or so, more than anyone that I know. Oh man, you gotta, if you're not friends with Maria Folio, go and check her out. I'll put her name into the chat if you can't see the screen properly. But she's absolutely phenomenal. She just confident. She oozes confident, but she just makes her program, her videos much more engaging, just so funny. So I spend about 5 minutes checking her video at most money, and I'm learning from it also. So yeah, I'm learning from her, and I'll buy program from her. She never said to me, come and buy my program. She never once said it. No, well, to me or anybody for that matter. Okay, so if you look at some of the things she's doing, you can see all the highlights here. That's when she's engaging with people. She's informing people. She's answering people questions. And then she say, well, check this out. Again, she's also sending people to other people's websites and say, but have a look at this person. Maybe they're doing so and so. You can learn from that. So she becomes that, what I said, that authority figure So who would you go to if you're looking for some information? Say if you're buying a product in terms of maybe doing video on Facebook, for example, you go and look for her. We're all her saying you, oh, I am very, very good. Okay. So how does Facebook measure your user experience? For those of you who are spamming or putting link there, the reason I said it, I'm stressing this because I know somebody who account got literally shut down on Facebook, and it took a little while for them to come back. So how does Facebook measure your experience? Okay, it's simple. If you look at the colorful picture there with a smiley face, right? Every time you do something or you do a post or engaging or comment, Facebook is watching how people relate and how people interact with you. Okay, whether people are liking it, whether people are commenting it, whether people are sharing it, whether they're clicking it, they're viewing it, whatever it is, if there are videos there, or whether no one does anything. Actually, I did a post a few days ago, and by the time I was getting to the now, I was like, oh my God, no one really liked that post. And then all of a sudden, I saw people liking them. Why did it take so long before you guys liked it, right? So if no one's liking a post, that's not good because Facebook keep an account or record of this. So you want to make sure every time you post something, even I'd rather you post something spammy. I hate you to spam, but if you post something there, make sure somebody like it. If someone like it, call somebody in your team like, please like my post now because Facebook's gonna shut me off. All right. So make sure you get somebody to like your post, because if no one's liking your post and no one's really doing anything about it, Facebook sooner or later will shut it down. And you don't want Facebook to shut that down. Okay. So I want to, like I said, give a big prop out to you guys, okay, for being the gurus, because you investing in your training, in growing your business, and it just for me it tells me the kind of leaders you guys are, regardless of the primary business in this industry is big enough. People already bringing network marketing down, and everybody's saying, oh, it's a scam, it's this. So the fact that we're working together from different industry tells me, you know what, you guys are leaders in the business. So how do you find the right person on Facebook? How do you find the right person? This, like I said, this part is live, so I'm gonna go onto Facebook now and share with you some of the messages and how I attract people through Facebook. There are a couple of ways I tend to do it. And for me, what I want to stress over here is how do you build this long-term relationship? So let's see what I can pull this up and get onto Facebook. Okay, I'm glad you are fine now, Barbara. So bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna move over to another screen so you guys see me going onto Facebook Live and literally sharing with you some of the examples of those people that I've prospected from Australia to Zimbabwe to the UK, and how we build relationship with them and what it is that I do. And I have script that I send out to people, or sometimes I just organic and I flow with them depending on what it is that I do. So I want to share a few examples with you guys, and I'll look at one or two of you guys Facebook page if we can do that, just to give you some feedback, and then by all means we'll wrap up, and any questions I'm happy to take those questions on. So bear with me 1 second. It might be a technical glitch, but I want to share my actual Facebook page with you guys. So bear with me 1 second, and I'm moving over to, okay, so the first person, let me see what I can share my page. Give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen, he says. So if whilst we're changing over, if you can just type in so far, if you're getting any value from this, if there's anything that's popping up, is something that went over faster, what I'm changing over to my Facebook page, by all means, please type that into the message. Let me see who's on the call so far. We got Barbara, Joanna, well done and welcome. And I hope I call your name correctly. Is that Jordan or Jacob? Welcome, guys. Very, very excited to have you guys on. I'm just changing over to Facebook, so you get to see some Facebook. And I might just prospect somebody on Facebook Live for about a minute or so and just start the first part, or actually somebody that I'm speaking to currently in Australia, how we got a conversation going. So where the first place is, where do you find people? Like I mentioned, right? So if you're a football lover, I'll stay onto this until I bring my Facebook page up. If you're a football lover, I'll say maybe check out somebody that's doing football. But here's the thing: you're looking for people that are in the same line of business. Or think about, if you think about yourself, would you want to do business with yourself? If the answer is yes, then look for somebody that's like you. You know, somebody that have the same kind of mindset, somebody that has the same outlook on life or the same perspective on life, because you do not want to get somebody miserable in your business. Or imagine organizing, if Barbara was organizing a team call or a team get together or team travel, you don't want somebody miserable that will come and just ruin everything just because you want to make a few bucks. So that's my rule of thumb when I'm looking to prospect people into my business. I'm thinking about, okay, who is it that I'm looking for? I want somebody with the same kind of, or even better than me. Put it that way, someone with the same IQ. So I do a lot of prospecting on LinkedIn. So when I look at people on LinkedIn, I'm looking for CEO. I was doing a training with someone the other day and said, so why are you looking at a CEO? I'm like, well, if the person is a CEO, they got a lot of responsibility. Their outlook on life is completely different from someone who's just looking for a job. Now, no disrespect to people that are looking for a job, but I think a CEO is somebody that's busy. But busy people, as far as I know, no, you don't have to be friends with everybody. You take one or two friends and then you can build it. Thank you for that, Joanne. But you can start with me, Joanne. So if you hit me up as a friend, at least we're in contact and then you can see some of what it is that we were doing. I like that. You don't have to be friends with anyone. But I'm sure in this business, right, there's people you meet every day. If you want to do Facebook, Joanna, then I would say, as on some level, it's not everybody, but you're looking for the best people. And what I'm going to show you and the suggestion is so a lot of places when I prospect people will be on in group chat. So for example, I'll go onto Robert Kiyosaki page, and what it is that I do, and I'm putting this up, I'm having technical things, so bear with me. You see, to do this business, you don't need to be smart, right? You just need some skills. You need a platform and a system to follow. That's all you need, right? You don't need to be a technical wizard to know how to talk to people on Facebook. You just use exactly the same skills you use, okay, to do that. It's just, where do you get these people from? So the first place that I tend to go, I look into groups around personal development or something like that. So if you like, let's imagine you like skiing, and you know the people that go skiing, they set a mindset that they like. Or maybe post something that you like into the chat, so it gives me an idea. What some of the things that you like? If you like reading personal development books, I love books. There's never a time that I leave my house without a book. I don't care where I'm going, unless I'm going to like some social function, then I don't take a book with me. But anytime I have a bag with me, there's at least one or two books in my bag. So I love books. So if I was going to go on somewhere, then I'll maybe look for a book that was written by someone. So let's see what's in my bag today. You may not see it, but it's called The Power of Focus. So how do you focus on one thing? So I want to share this screen with you. Okay. So I'm back on. So for those of you who can see me, so I'm going to share my screen. Let me find a screen to share so you can see. Okay. Okay. So let me see what I can pull that screen up. Okay. So this person I'm pulling up, this lady is in Australia. And I looked at her profile. We're friends already on Facebook because people will already come to you. I suppose that's one way. So this lady that I'm just about to show you, if I can pull up the screen, we're friends already on Facebook. And when you're friends with people, you tend to get their post through your news feed. So one of these days, she took a picture. She was on the beach, and it just came up on my news feed. And I'm like, oh, wow, cool. So I commented on the picture. And I didn't say anything to her. I said, great picture. Where is this? And that's all I left it at. And she came back to me and she said something else. And so then the conversation started, because that's how I prospect people. Some days I don't go hunting people down. Things happen. In fact, the last 4 people we brought into our business in the last few weeks were people that was in my news feed, and we just started a conversation. And that was quick. However, there some conversation that we built up over a period of time. So if I can get this, it would be great if we can get this going, because you get to see some of the messages rather than me actually reading the messages out to you guys. I can read it out, but I would love for you to see the message. Hi, Annette. Really? Now you see that? That's why it's good to recognize people, right? Because it's got a different name on there. So Annette, sincere apologies. Thank you so very much for quickly correcting me on that. Okay. All right. So there's a page that's coming up. So I'm gonna take that. Tell me if you can see my screen right now, because the screen you must be seeing, which should be the Facebook page with a lady called Keisha. So I'm gonna bring Keisha page on so you can see the conversation I've been having with Keisha. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Barbara. So can you see the Facebook page with Keisha on? Let me know if you can see Keisha's page on Facebook, then I'll know. All right, great. So if you look at the message here with Keisha, I'm just gonna pull it up. So when I saw Keisha page on her own page, I commented on it, and then later on, we chatted a little while. Then I came back to her here, messaging her this time, because you don't want to start messaging people on their profile. The world gets to see it, and you never know what someone's gonna say. So I tend to take it off, what I call it inboxing the person, right? So I said to her, hi Keisha, I'll be straight up with you, right? Though we haven't spoken before, but your picture look like someone who's will be working with. I got this project we're working on, blah blah blah, and you'll be like definitely part of it. Hit me up with a number or Skype, and we'll talk more, and I'll tell you more. So Keisha comes back. She said, "Tell me more about the project you guys are doing, please, and be honest with it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So notice what she just said, and I'm being frank with you here, right? Because this is not something we share with the world, but I want you to get it. So the reason, there's 2 ways I can build short-term relationship and get people to see, or I can do long-term. It just really depends what it is I'm doing. I would strongly suggest do long-term, because if you do something short-term, you end up losing people and you don't know what it ends up. So she's saying, because we spoke for about a week before I sent this message to her, so you can see her mindset straight away. Keisha is an actress down in Australia. So straight away, she's telling me, be honest. The next message before I send this message to her was like, okay. Then she called me straight away. So if you're looking there, you see the call. Yes, somebody that's telling me to be honest, and then she called me straight away. So I told her, sorry, listen, miss your call, and so on. So we started finding out some questions about her. What is it that you do, and where do you live? So you can see all the reply, and so on and so forth. Then she decided to ask me, listen, tell me exactly what it is that you do. Now, a lot of time when people ask me, rather than me trying to explain, I never explain. I'll say, go onto my website, look at it. If you find value in it, come back to me. If you don't come back to me, I'm not chasing you. That's just how I operate. Okay? Because by this time, I would have gotten enough information. I know your pain and where you are. And Keisha is very, very busy, so she really does not have time. So you know if somebody is busy. One of my mentors, Richard Branson, said, if you want to get in partnership with anyone, find busy people, successful business people. When they see value in what it is that you're doing, they will always find a time. So she was very, very busy shooting. Every time she's shooting a movie and she's traveling, and she said, well, I really didn't have time. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not chasing you. Go onto my website, have a look at it. Once you're happy, come back to me. She gave me a call straight away, and I missed a call from her. And this lady rang me like 4 o'clock in the morning UK time. Now, I didn't know about the time in Australia. About 4 o'clock, I'm sleeping in bed, and my phone rings, right? Well, my Facebook phone, because she didn't have my number at that time. Okay, so she called me up, and I picked up the phone, and it was Keisha on the phone. So we started to chat, and I'm like, okay, bear with me. Back to my screen. So we started to chat, and then obviously I showed her the opportunity. She liked it. Straight away, I put her in touch with one of my guys in Australia, and she got started. And now she's building a successful business up in Australia alongside her acting. Considering somebody who didn't have time, she's doing both of them and very, very well. So where do you find the right people? I tend to go through personal development website, because that's the industry I've in. I've always worked in personal development as a trainer. And so it's easier for me to go there and see people. And so what do you do when you go into those sites? When you go there, what I tend to do is say, let's imagine you're onto Robert Kiyosaki's site as an example. Look at the most current post. Okay, don't go to post that was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, because then someone will know you're stalking them. Go to the most current post and see the comments. And the reason I like Robert Kiyosaki, because if we went onto his website right now, and I'll pull this up, well, I'll change this and I'll pull this up so we can see where we can do this live. And I like this because, like I said, all of this is live. And Barbara, for you, I see a yes, no, yes, no, no. That means you can't see my screen, but you can see my screen right now, right? Can you see my screen right now? I'm trying to get onto Facebook, but if you got a picture in your head, guys, then by all means, let's flow. So what I'll do when I go to Robert Kiyosaki site, I'll look for the most current post that he's done. So from that current post, I'll look at the comments that people are saying. Now, somebody might say, but Tom, Robert, imagine if all of us was going through Robert Kiyosaki website, we will not bump into the same person. The chances are slim to nil. I've been doing this for a little while, and I haven't bumped into somebody that my friends bumped into. There's a guy right now that is called Paul. That Paul and I are talking, and Paul is in Australia. He's been doing martial art for 43 years. One of the comments he made on it, and I just responded to the comment like, great comment. I like the way you brought your dad into the whole picture. So right away, I pay him a compliment. And that's absolutely crucial. Again, I talked about significance before. So think about it this way. If I met you, Annette, and I say, oh my God, you look really, really smart, or, pick something specific also. A lot of the time we say, oh, you look good. That's rubbish comment to people. So if somebody has done really nicely, or they're wearing like a striking color, then find something specific that you're going to compliment the person. Or you look good today. Seriously? Does that mean I didn't look good yesterday? You don't want to say that to someone, right? So find something specific that you're going to compliment the person on. Oh, your jacket. Oh my God, I love the colors in your jacket. And this is something I've been doing before doing direct selling. I grew up with 5 sisters. So you can imagine hanging around 5 ladies all the time. I had to learn to pay them compliment on a regular basis. And because I was the youngest, I get slapped around the head every now and then. If my sister came outside and said, oh, how do I look? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's all right. She'd be like, bang, on my head, So after a while, she would say, okay, let me tell you what girls like. I know this sound like, and that's exactly the same thing. So those trainings that I got all those years ago, I bring it back into my business. So now when I meet someone, just not even on the street, and I prospect a lot of people on the street as well. And I do cold market prospect, and I teach my guys on how to do it. So yesterday I'm in Northampton with my team. When we came back to the UK, stopped off in Northampton, spent some time there. And so yesterday I prospected 3 guys off the street, literally off the street. Just paid them a compliment. As a guy looked really, really beefed up, muscly. And I went up there and I said, look, you're really making me look bad right now. That's all I said. I said, you're really making me look bad right now, because look at me. I haven't even gone to the gym, and you look like, and he cracked up. We just started to laugh, and 2-3 minutes, I'm like, okay, so what is it that you do? You say, oh, no, I spend a lot of time in the gym, and then I worked as a, mortgage consultant. I said, fantastic, great. So how did that business start? About how did you get into that? And literally in about a few seconds, I'm like, you know what? Let's stay in contact. Are you open-minded? And through the questions I was asking him, what's working right now? What's the most challenging thing as being a mortgage consultant? So those are questions that I'm asking because I didn't have enough time to build that relationship. I wanted to get a contact number, and then later on I could go back onto it. So those are places that you can find the right kind of people. Go into what I would say would be a personal development website, or if there's an author or somebody that you like, but please, you want to find people that are outgoing, that have an outgoing personality. That's someone grumpy, because the person going to spend time with you. Imagine trying to teach a grumpy person, right? Especially when you're doing online training. You really do not want, you can feel the vibe, you can feel the energy. And if you've come across somebody, the way people behave on Facebook or any other social media website, that's exactly how they're going to behave with you in real life. So look at someone who's complaining, somebody who negative comments on Facebook, any of those things. You really do not want those person in your business at all. You really do not want those people in your business. And I don't get to take those people in my business, so I wouldn't want them in. Okay, there we go. So you got an idea how you found the second person. Again, another girl in the UK, lived in Northampton. In fact, that's why I go to Northampton, because I got a little team that's growing up in Northampton. Was the same thing. I was linked to a page that was based in Northampton, some women empowerment movement page, and I've done some training for the lady that run the page. So this one day, this girl posted, Diana, who's one of the top leaders in my business in the UK, posted something that she wanted to help out, to give her time to help do recruitment for young people. So I saw the comment, and I'm like, check out our page. Everybody will check out your Facebook page. So get used to that straight away. As soon as you say something, people will look at your face. So Facebook page. So imagine, look at Facebook from their perspective, or your Facebook page as in, you're either naked out there. Would you walk out in the street naked, or would you post something decent on? Even if you're clothed, would you wear something that you wouldn't normally want to see somebody in? That's how you want to look at your Facebook page. Okay, so people will check out your Facebook page. So I sent her a message. I'm like, hi, D, great. Listen, if you're doing this, you must be this kind of person. And we started a conversation. And Diana and I spoke for about 1 hour in the morning. The great thing is, they say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, right? Her boss wasn't at work that particular morning, or else we would not have this conversation, and she would not be in my team. So that morning, her boss was not in, and we just chatted. And yes, what amazing. Because I asked the right distinction, the right questions. When I told Diana about our business opportunity, she had not seen it. She didn't even see it. She drove from Northampton to come to London 9 o'clock in the morning for a presentation, 9 o'clock in the morning, with her boyfriend, who had done an overnight shift, sleeping in the back of his car, and she came to see the presentation down in London. Let that sink in for a little while, okay? So you can do this. You can do it shorter way. You can do it faster way. I like to just build relationship, but this particular time we just chatted, and the same good because we had a big event in London. I wanted her to come down to see it in London. Okay, so Di came along. She saw it, and she didn't join the business straight away. But because of the relationship we have built and the conversation we had, she said, "Look, I'm traveling right now. When I come back, we'll have a conversation, and then we'll get started in the business." And true to her word, when she came back, we reached out to her. In fact, again, she didn't reach out to me. I went back to her. I'm like, "Hey, great, I see you back. What an amazing trip. I could see all your pictures, blah, blah, blah. What are you up to? Let's hook up. I'm going to be in Northampton for so and so day. I'll buy you a coffee." Or in fact, actually, I switched it around and said, "Well, you buy me a coffee because you've been traveling and I can listen to all your story." Went down, saw D, and cut long story short, she signed up. So you got to have a system to do this thing, okay? The only reason I'm having this conversation with you today is because I'm a product of the system. I'm a product of the trainings, personal development, but also, I was told success is about having your skill set, okay, having a system, and having mentors around you. Like I said to you, you guys are the true gurus because you're here building and learning from someone else that's in a business. But for you to be successful in this business, you need a little bit of skill set, you need some mentors, and you need to have a system. With all those three things, the chances are slim. Now, when I came into this business, and most of you are, yeah, if you're into network marketing or direct sale, we've been shown the old way. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with where you make your list and you call your friends and you call your cousin and blah, blah, blah. And then after a while, if they don't get it, imagine walking to your friend, say for my brother, I told my brother the first time I saw my network marketing business, oh my God, and hopefully you guys can relate. Oh my God, we're gonna make so much money. We're gonna be traveling the world. And my brothers look at me like, seriously, Tom? Forget it. Whatever it is you're doing, I don't want to know. And I begged him. He saw the presentation. He still didn't join. He's like, it's not for me. I'm like, cool. Thank you very much. So after a while, right, you feel like, oh my God, is this thing really, really gonna work? Okay, so you want to find a system, find somebody who's done it before, whether it be in personal development or with your company. And excuse me, I need to take a sip of water. I reach out to other people that's not doing my business at all. I got a guy on LinkedIn who's a mentor. He's into sales. He's done phenomenally well in terms of sales. So I just pick his brain. And if you're asking, how do you reach out to these people? I just do it. I'm like, hey, I love what it is that you're doing. Have you got a few seconds? And I just upfront with them. Can I, call you up maybe say once a month or once a month? Or look, I really, really respect your time, and I know you're going to be busy. I just saw this question. Another thing you can do, and one that I do all the time, especially with books, or I read books and I also look up the authors and then comment on it. So if somebody's making a comment, especially if the person is in authority, I'll implement what the person is saying. So for example, Maria, I do a lot of video because I find it easy. I love talking. So I do a lot of video, and I did a couple of videos. Then I reach out to Maria. I'm like, oh, thank you, Maria. You talked about this strategy, and I implemented this strategy, and I got X, Y, Z. And she didn't respond. And then I did it a couple of times. And then I did a video that I'm like, did a video and told people to go and check her out. I'm like, looking for leaders. And then she reached out to me and said, oh, by the way, Tom, fantastic video. I love it. And so then we're in contact. So I can then reach out to her, send her a personal message like, I'm doing a video on this. What do you think? Or what's the best way? And one of the things she taught me was to be yourself. Don't be anybody else. If you goofy, then be goofy. Because there are loads of goofy people out there that will, come and be attracted to you. We talk about attraction marketing, right? People will find you because of who you are. You got to be real. You got to be the real deal. So you cannot be anyone. So back to the system. And what have I done? Okay. So we're hoping to get one or two people onto the call as well, so I can hear somebody. So what is a system? If you think about it, system is about saving yourself some time, energy, or money. If you want to go do the old way and start calling up your cousin who said no to you, or one of your broke friends that said no to you, he's still on benefit, and you're still calling up because you're trying to save his life, it is not going to work. Okay? So find somebody or find a system that is in place that will help you to do it. And one of the ways I've done that is to plug myself into one of the most amazing system ever that I've seen out there when it comes to be online marketing, direct sale, multi-level marketing, wherever you call it, right? This is where the top, the guys that go to our training that always are on stage. They don't come and tell you, and they will not tell you. Okay, but they're always there using this strategy, branding themselves. So look for your own business and look for the leaders in your business and check them what it is that they're doing. Are they branding themselves? I mean, that's what tells you literally, right, whether this works. What I'm telling you, whether it works. Look at your leaders in your own personal company and find out what it is that they're doing. Are they branding themselves? Are they talking about some ebook? Are they telling about how you save this out there? look out for them, and then you'll see that. Okay. But yes, this system I want to share with you. In fact, this gentleman that is on the call right now is somebody that that I follow, and I want to bring my screen. I hopefully want to bring him into the call if I can do that. Andy, are you there?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, Andy, we can hear you. So, thank you, thank you. I know today is your daughter's birthday, and you're taking time out to.
Yeah.
Yes, I really appreciate your time, Andy. Thank you for taking time out out of your hectic busy schedule to come and speak to us. I got some amazing leaders on the call, Andy, and I just really wanted you to share with us on this call your experience of where you were before finding out the system that you now use and some of the results it's gotten you and where you are currently.
All right. Okay. I have to say, right, for me, finding out this system was a godsend. Okay. Um, Prior to this, I'll tell you a little bit of my history and my story, so you get to acquaint with me and notice that, realize that this is just something that anybody and everybody can do, right? So what happened was I started with MLM around about 2010. Now, 2010, when I started, actually, it's funny enough that a lot of people still don't click. I joined a company, and I'm sure a lot of people know this company very well. I don't know if I'm allowed to say any company names on the call, but I joined Herbalife. And the way I joined Herbalife was very funny. And it still didn't click to me that this is what I had to do 5 years down the line. Right? I joined Herbalife. I went online and I typed in make money, right? And then a website popped up and I looked at it and there was a page, right? And it's the same as that system that you were talking about. And this page said a few things. It didn't say a lot of things. It said make money from the comfort of your home while living healthy and blah, blah, blah. So I put my email address, I put my number. Then it went to another page. So I read a whole screen. I was like, this thing looks cool. It looks like they have the best product in the whole world. So I joined. I took my card out and I paid and I joined. Now the lady I joined was in the US. She was nowhere near the UK. When I joined, she picked up the phone. She called me and she said, okay, I noticed you joined my team. I just want to welcome you to the team and blah, blah, blah. So we got talking. She gave me some directions on what to do, but she was in the US, I was in the UK. And she probably didn't get the whole thing right. I don't know how she was trained to set this up, but she lost me along the line. 2 weeks down the line, she was not calling me anymore. I was trying to do my thing. She told me to make a sticker of numbers. I don't know how you call them, like pop-up stickers. So I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
go in the bus stops. You see one of those things, go in the bus stop and put a note and put your number so people will rip one each when they come to the bus stop.
yeah.
So I did the same thing. I went around to all the bus stops in my area in East Dulwich and I was pasting these things late in the night. Right. I walked from East Dulwich all the way up towards Camberwell, and I was just facing these things, right? And I was thinking, yes, I've got a business to work finally. And nobody called me. I was so disappointed. Nobody called me. And now I had like 200, 300 pound worth of products sitting on my shelf. And so I called her back and I said, nobody called me yet. And he said, have you used the product? I said, not yet. He said, go use the product, be a product of the product. So I used the product. And next thing she said, make a list and call your friends. And I didn't have a lot of friends, right? My friends were like 20. So after 2 weeks of running after my friends, I got burned out and I quit. I didn't pick up her calls. I didn't do anything. She was on my Facebook. I blocked her. And that was end of story. I know this sounds familiar to someone, right? And that was it. I lost money. And actually, I signed up one person. I signed one person up. That I'm lying. I signed one person up. And that person happens to be my girlfriend. She was my girlfriend. She probably joined before because she probably felt a bit bad. She thought, hey, you know what? This guy is working really hard. Let me sign up and buy some products. So she signed up on an auto ship, but it really didn't help much. And I ended it. That was like 3-4 months into my business. And most people, that's the downtime for most people. 3-4 months is when they start quitting. So I didn't touch network marketing for another year. Then somebody else came up. Oh, there's traditional Chinese medicine. This thing is a bomb. Just buy some tea and you'll be awesome. So I went to get the tea. I signed up, paid my authorship. They told me to do the same thing, but this lady had a different strategy. Her strategy was, I go to events and I take numbers. So I did the same thing. It worked for some time. But after some time, I started getting burned out. I started feeling like, how long am I going to do this? And the payment just didn't work out. I was not making money. I was not losing money, but I was not making money. So I was okay, but I got tired, fed up. I did not touch network marketing for another few years. Right. So after that, I went into the company that I am with currently. I thank God for this company, to be very honest. It's one of the great companies. I'm not going to mention any company names because that's not what this call is about. I got into the company, I got excited. That was after 3-4 years. And then my first month, I got success. My second month was good. My third month was great. The team was growing. 1 year later, I was on residual. Things were popping. I was excited, right? But then, just usual with companies, sometimes your effectiveness dips a little bit. So things started dipping, and when they started dipping, this is what happened. I started losing people from the team faster than I could put them in. They were just dropping off, and I didn't know what to do. And my sponsor told me the same thing: go talk to your friends, make a list. I said, listen, I've spoken to some people like 10 times in a row. And he said, go talk to them again. So now I don't have friends. I have friends who don't talk to me because of that, because I kept hounding them, right? Then I thought, you know what, I lost my rank. Let me start over again. But this time I started to think. I went back online and I said, build network marketing company. And something popped up. This time I knew better. So I decided to do some research. I learned, I read around, I thought what was working. I tried to figure out exactly what works. But the good thing is that this particular system, when I checked, people were using the same system. All the top guys that I knew were doing this, right? This attraction marketing thing is what people are doing, right? They're using this attraction marketing. They're branding themselves. I've never seen a company leader that's pasting links, ever. I've never seen it. So I thought, no, there's a clue here. Something is different. So I bought into the system. And let me tell you, when I bought into the system, my first few months, I didn't do anything. Typical human being. I didn't do jack. Then I started implementing some of the things they talked about. I implemented it. I built some pages. You can go check out my blog. Tom can give it to you. And you can see some of the contents that we get. It's amazing content. And I'll tell you the results I had. 1 month, I generated 268 plus leads. 268. Guys, this blew my mind. I was sitting there going, 268 leads in a month. Okay, now I've got more people to talk to than I needed. I'll tell you what, last month I had 4 people join, actually 3, I'm lying. 3 people join my company through a funnel. I don't even know them. I've not spoken to them. I don't know where they are in the world. Wouldn't you like that? Now, right now, I'm actually taking my daughter to a fun fair. She's so excited, she can't wait, right? So I'm probably taking too much of her time. She's bouncing all over the place. But what I'm trying to say is, I am here right now, and my blog is generating leads. Yeah. The work I did 2 weeks ago, last week, is getting leads for me today. All I have to do is go back and follow up with people. So this stuff works, guys. I don't know, but I heard some of the content that Tom was given at the end, and some of these strategies. I personally spoken to Tom, and I've asked him, how are you faring with this? Tom is always telling me that he's gotten people into his team just by doing this. So I copy some of the things that Tom is teaching you guys right now. And I have to tell you guys, if it's something that you really want to do, if you want to take your business to another level, right, you need to listen to what this guy is saying. Right? Gone are the days where you have to, be chasing family and friends. Those days are over. You got to spread. You got to brand. You got to build. And this is what we're doing. And this system has helped me. Right now, I've got time freedom. The time I can spend time anytime I want. You know, I don't have to wait for someone and think that when I don't talk to somebody on the street, my business is going to die. I've got leads coming in.
Thank you.
So
Thank
this
you.
is an awesome system. I have to say, these are my results I'm getting, and it's such an awesome thing.
Andy, listen, I really, really applaud you. Thank you for taking time out of your hectic schedule. I know, like today, you said it was your daughter's birthday, and you're taking time just to come out and just to show us some love and give us some information, and especially in terms of the results that you're getting.
Mm.
And I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you. So your daughter doesn't blame me when you don't.
She's already blaming you, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna love you and let you go. But thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate your time this afternoon. Yeah, afternoon with us. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
No problem, Tom.
We'll bump into one another on Facebook. I'll check out your next Facebook live that you're doing. I see you doing a lot of them nowadays. So I'm gonna be commenting on it even more. Okay, thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom. You're an awesome dude. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so you know, I remember a while back. If you can see my screen, please let me know that you can see my screen back, guys. And Andy, if you can mute your phone because I'm trying to mute
Okay.
you, that would be great. Thank you. And if you can see my screen, just comment on it. So here's a question for you. If there was a way you could get all the training you ever wanted, you know, with all the top earners in one place, would you want to know? Would you, I mean, if you just say, yeah, you know, if there was a way you could help those who say even no to you, because the great thing is we're not in the same team, right? And one of the things I realized in the industry, and I keep saying to people, it doesn't matter what network marketing business you're in, the people are already trying to bring our industry down. So it's better for us to work together, even if you, and I tend not to prospect a lot of people from network marketing business to say, oh, my business is the better one and your business. I'll just give you value. If you find value in what it is that we do and you want to find out a little bit more, that's great. But I never ever go out there to say to people, come and join us, because the one thing that is constant is you. Okay, so if you're doing something over there, unless they didn't give you the system and the training and whatever it is, then that's a different ballgame. But you, yes, I can do this on a regular basis, but what I also realize is people want control. People want to have control over their own destiny and find a way. Rather than me charging, I want you to plug yourself into a system that will literally help you guys. So if there was a way you could, you know, help those who said no to your opportunity and yet and still make money, would you want to know the details? Because for me, what literally has changed in terms of what I'm doing the last few months and my Facebook page, I mean, to engage in a week to have 3,000%, you know, increase in, you know, in terms of people that are coming to have a engagement level. And I was comparing my page with some of the top pages out there and see the quotes that or the what you call it, the posting I was doing, and yet and still a page with say 1,000, 20,000 people on it, and I was still ranking higher there. I'm like, okay, how is that possible? Right? How is that possible to do that? And my goal was just to take a page in 1 month on the Refugee Millionaire page. And if you are there, I would strongly suggest, if we're not friends on Facebook, please go reach out to me and just say hi, send a friend request, or go like the Refugee Millionaire page. But just we're in a space of, today's the 23rd, so it's not even 30 days yet. We had about 8 or 10 people on a page, and my goal was to, within a month, by the end of August, to get to about 200 people and then double that figure. So we're up to 185, and all I've done was the strategy I learned of MLSP. If you guys never heard about MLSP, it's a phenomenal system that is for marketers. It's not my system. I got no claim on MLSP. I just joined because somebody said, look, I see you doing videos. Come and check out these guys. So I get to see some of the leaders and what it is that they're doing. All of this thing, I tell you a secret, right? Because this is how I operate. When I work normal 9 to 5, I mentioned somewhere that I used to be lazy. I'm actually very, very smart. But the way I tend to work is rather than working harder, I'll find people who can do that and I help them to do that. So traditional work, I used to find those guys that are really, really good, empower them, mentor them, teach them, and then they go do what that needed to be done. So if I know 1 + 1, I'm gonna show somebody how to do 1 + 1, so I do less of 1 + 1. So I plug myself into MLSP and learn from some of the top leaders. So whatever, and Barbara talked about doing webinar. All this stuff I learned about doing webinar, I learned it off MLSP. So guys, I'm gonna put a link as I'm trying to show this MLSP site up, but go and check out MLSP. At the end of this presentation, I'll put a link in there. You can go check it out, try out. There's a try you can do. And if you find value into it, do that. In fact, we're just about literally over the time limit. I'm gonna do some questions and answers so I get to hear you guys on the call, Annette and Jacob and Barbara, if there's anything specific that you want to ask that I can throw some light on. If I was running faster like a bullet that you didn't hear me, and you need anything more, then by all means I will answer all of those things, right? But for me, the secret ingredient, the secret sauce that every top earners are using is that platform. When I got into it, because here's the thing, if I wanted to build a website, I had to pay somebody extra. So if I wanted to do a blog, I had to pay somebody extra. If I wanted to know how to do video, I had to pay somebody extra to teach me. If I wanted to know how to do Facebook Live, I had to pay somebody. So imagine all of these and more are in one place that you can go and be like the leader. You can brand yourself. You can become an expert. And when you do, you build trust with your people that follow you, your list. And then they come to you. Then you can tell them, look, this is how I'm doing this. I became part of this juice. And if they're not, you can say, you know what? Yes, what you can do also, you can go and brand yourself. Maybe my opportunity is not for you. Okay? Man, listen, our opportunity can't be for everybody. Get that straight in your head. This is another training for another day, right? So don't get offended when people say no to your juice or your, I'm not going to call it any, or your biscuits or to your water because it's come from the Amazon jungle, wherever it is. It's not personal. But yes, what you can do, you can also help them. Listen, if it's not for you, that's great. But yes, another way you can also get yourself out there, because this field, right? Sometimes because we're in the same industry, we make it look so small. And it's like we're trying to beat up people like a normal traditional work and backstab people. And my deal is the better deal. No, my deal is not the better deal. My deal is just the best deal for me. I've seen it. I love it. It allows me to do this stuff that I do. Travel the world, hang out with some cool people, and made me who I am, and I'm learning from it. But you know what? It's me that is doing it. So I like to brand myself rather than my deal. And I showed Barbara, and there was a gentleman I came to. I said, look, go onto my web. In fact, here's a challenge for you. Annette, Jacob, and Barbara, you've probably done it all right. But go onto my Facebook page. And if you come back and see what it is that I do in terms of my direct business, I'm going to book you onto one of our free training to come and check it out. I'll pay for you to go onto it. I'll give you your money back. Because there's nothing there more or less. So I don't talk about, oh, I'm in this flying club, or I'm in this dancing, wherever it is. I just talk about me. I do videos. In fact, I do it now from the Refugee Millionaire, and then I share with people, or people liked it, and we're building our platform. And we've got about 3 different pages on Facebook that I use to market off. And none of them has anything to do with my own company. Why? Because it's about me. People coming to see me. I'm sorry, it sounds like, and that's exactly what I want them to do. They come to see you. And I've seen Barbara done some, I've seen your page, Barbara, and I haven't seen Anna, but I've seen your page, Barbara, and I see some slight changes on there. But I would say if I went there now and onto any of you guys' page just to close up, take away the link from your page. If you go jog, put a jog in there. It feels good today just jogging, or it feels good hanging out with people. And people will start to follow you. If they make the comment, ask the person, for example, so what did you like about the video? Like if I do a video, I ask people directly, which bit did you like about the video? So that we can start having a conversation. Oh, great. Then the conversation just starts. If you put your link, like if you're doing juice and maybe I had a bad experience with a juice company before, And that's go, and we do this. You know we do this, right? All of you know we do that. So you click the person link and you look at it and the person says juice, that's another juice company. I don't want to do juice. So now you just taking somebody out of your business only because you put a link. But the other way I looked at it is like, it's like somebody invited you to a party and then all of a sudden you start pooping onto the person floor. Like you going there, it's like, oh, watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me. You're taking out your clothes. Nobody does that in the real life. It's called social network. It ain't called selling, social sell network. It's social. So socialize with people, build a relationship with them. And the best way I've learned to do that is through MLSP. And before MLSP, I was frustrated because I didn't know what to do in terms of doing all of that. I used to beg people come and do my website. The person do my website. I was like, okay, now I need to do branding. So I have to go to somebody else and pay them whatever amount of dollars to do branding. Then I have to go somebody else. Then I have to go somebody. So guys, that's what I've learned. All of what I've just shown you here today, all of that from MLSP. I didn't make it up at all. I just got the notes from there. So I know you think, yes, I'm cool, yes, to a certain extent, but that's not me. It's got nothing to do with me. I just learned it. I implemented a strategy, and I just follow it on a day-to-day basis. I got a schedule that I follow, and I just do, and I do, and I do, and I do. And then tomorrow, people start to follow me and then say, okay, so what is it that you do again? I'm like, you want to find out? Check this out. All right. So if you want to find out a little bit more about MLSP, I'm going to post the link here. I'm going to share with Barbara also. There's no way I can put it onto my Facebook page. However, I'm going to post it on the link on Facebook. I invited Barbara. So there's a Facebook page that we just did. If it's still on, because it's an event, it might just run out. If it is, I'll send a link over to Barbara so you can check it out yourself. Go try, run it, drive around town, do wherever it is, find the training that you want to do. I love to give a lot of strategies. So if I was there, they would tell you the first thing, find one strategy. If there was only one thing I'm going to say, suggestion in terms of MLSP before I bring the screen back to myself, it's like a kid in a candy shop with all these sweets. If you love sweets, for that analogy, that's what MLSP is. When you go there, take one strategy, please. Do not go take a million strategy and you're trying to do it. It will not work for you because you will not be focused on that. All right. So if there's any questions, I'm going to bring my screen back and bring it to myself and see how I can get it back to me. Okay. Right. If there's any questions, if there's anything that I went over too fast that you didn't get or you wanted to ask, by all means, now is the time, and I'll be absolutely overjoyed to literally answer you guys' questions. So the first thing, if you found value in it, then by all means, please comment it. You can go back onto my Facebook page and just say, thank you for the training, loved it, or reach out anyway to become friends on Facebook, that at least we are in contact with one another. So Barbara, Annette, and Jacob, is there any questions that you guys have that I didn't go through, or there's something particular that you wanted to understand that was very, very fast for you guys? Because I do talk very, very fast. Are you there? Is everybody still? Yeah, it said 4 attendees, so I can see 4 people. Oh, well, not 3, 5. Hold on. Okay, thank you. Great job, Barbara. Thank you so very much. Barbara, I really, really appreciate it. Not just the call, but for your leadership, though, to just to pull all of this together and just to reach out to your team and encourage them to see it. They say how we do one thing is how we do everything. So for those of you who on the call, Annette and Jacob, for your own leadership, because this is about you. It just shows the people that are serious to grow this business. So that's what it tells me anyway, because I don't know you guys, but just for me, people that normally turn up, there's a couple of rules that I have when people come and join my business. Training is no option. If you're not going to go to training, don't join, go join somebody else's business, because I couldn't have done this business. We're all going to training. There's no way I'm going to be training you every day. I'm very lazy. Okay, so I want to find the quickest way to help people. However, I don't want to be going to teaching you every single day. I love training, but at the same time, if there's a system that can make it easier, then yes. Of course, I know there's a lot to digest. What I would suggest is take one thing and then implement it. Find one thing. There's so much. There's like any training. Imagine if we're going to go 2 hours with this training. I had to cut it down. I was cutting it down. I had to jump over. So there's a lot to digest. Absolutely. Like anything else, take one and then run with it. So if you wanted to just start, for example, to build relationship with people onto your Facebook page, then you can do that. Just reach out. Go to a fan page of somebody that you like or you admire and see what the comments are. If somebody make a nice comment, just reach out to them and say, hey, great comment. I love the thing you mentioned about X, Y, Z. And again, be specific. The other point I didn't mention, right? Address people by their name. So don't just say, oh, hi. So hi, Tom, we love our names. You know that. If I've called your name now, and since you mentioned your name, I've called you a couple of times. How do you feel when I'm calling your name? Because it's like, oh my God, Tom knows me. It's the same way. So you want to go and say hi to the person, use the person name in the address. I never send anyone any message without calling the person name. I'll say, oh, hi, Susan. And in fact, my rule is I'll use the name 3 times in the message, depending on the message, right? So I'll use your name 3 times. So hi, Tom, da, 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 da. Then I realized, Tom, you mentioned so and so, da, da, da. And then I realized, Annette, you did so and so. And the person is feeling good about themselves that you recognize them. And I do that all the time. So just if that works for you, then try it. Listen, you got to try for you to know that it worked. And if it doesn't work, I'll tweak stuff. So I got templates of messages that I send people, and I'll copy those messages, and I'll take 1 or 2 things out, and I'll send it. So tomorrow, Monday, my team and a couple of my leaders are doing something completely brand new. Again, yes, I'm giving so much information after. We're doing something completely brand new on LinkedIn, and we're attracting people from LinkedIn to come and see our presentation. So again, we've got a script, and we've tried this script out with about 10 people over the last week. And then we're seeing the one where people responding to us. So we'll go back and then tweak that and then use that script to send it out for these people. So every Tuesday, we got, I think, 4 webinars going on every Tuesday, live webinars where we've got leaders sharing our opportunity. But again, it's purely building this relationship. So try that bit. I really hope that works. And again, by all means, reach out. I'm gonna get the details. What I'll do, I'll send Barbara the link on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay. Since you're here, so you don't have to then call Barbara 2 days later. Did he send it? Oh no. I got another webinar after this at 4 o'clock. So bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this out and I'll give you a link to go watch and have fun. And then let me know how it goes. Okay. Barbara, also on this this platform, I don't know what you're using in terms of webinar, but so I use Webinar on Air, which is part of this platform, but I pay for it. But again, I had to learn everything from here. They teach you, and it's great. And the PayPal is all set up in there as well. So I didn't have to do any of the PayPal stuff to say, okay, how do I link the PayPal and wherever it is? And I just really started. I did webinar with all knowing so much about it. And bear with me, I'm finding out. And then when I came to webinar on air, I was like, okay, cool, this is good. Let me see what I posted. If it's not the right link, by all means, come back to me. And I will send it over to Barbara. I'll still send you a link where you can do a try run also, Barbara, and you can share with Annette and Jacob. And if that helps them out, by all means, She just needs to be friends with Chris. Who's Chris, Barbara? Oh, she needs to be friends with Chris. Okay. All right. Cool, cool. I'm reading like little OO messages, right? Okay. All right. So, Barbara, is there any question that you had and that wasn't answered? I mean, I literally went through everything that you got. Is guys, it's just really crucial for you to be able to engage. I cannot tell you enough the amount of times. The other thing you can do, let me show you something how I get people. This is how I know people are in network marketing and they're struggling, right? And again, this is bonus training. It wasn't part of it. So this is how I know when people are struggling in their business, because they put in link. So we've been told the old way that, okay, get your friends, and then after a while, and somebody will say, oh, well, if you post it on Facebook, that tells me that this person is struggling. So there's a couple of ways I can reach out to people. I'll say to them, for example, the cheeky way I normally say is, oh, but hey, hi, I see you doing so and so. And once we go into 2-3 lines of the conversation, if the person trying to prospect me, I'll say, look, it's great to connect, but how is that working for you? How is that strategy on Facebook working for you? Because I know it's not working, because nobody, if you find somebody that posted a link and people really, really join, come and show me the person, and then I'll pay the person. Okay. I hope that added some value to you guys. How much is the webinar if you want to use it? I do not know. I can't remember the price, to be honest with you. I think, ooh, great question. I think it's about $20. You know, most of the things are in dollars. I think it's about $25 or $30. But yes, the thing I would say, a great question you asked there. You guys think about it this way, right? And I did a video on somebody talking about cost. The way I tend to look at it, Barbara, is more of the benefit to me. So even if I was paying, so for MLSP, my membership is $100 or whatever it is. But for that $100, I'm getting like 10 times more in terms of value and the benefit to my business. Now, if I didn't pay the $100, yeah, I lose $100. I don't know whether I actually keep the 100. I might buy something, drink, or whatever it is. But just being on MLSP alone, in terms of the growth of my business, I couldn't put a price on it. So most of the leaders in my business are on MLSP. That's the first thing. If you want to, because to be honest, there's 2 reasons why we're doing this business. We want time freedom and money and financial freedom. You know, Andy came on a call today and he's on a beach and his blog is working. He's not sitting by his blog. Okay. He couldn't have done it, or else you'll be, oh my God, I'm working. I can't speak to you. When I call you, I say, Andy, listen, I'm doing a webinar with some friends. Can you please come? And he's like, great. I'll be on the beach. So I hope you don't mind the noise, but that's fine. I'm like, cool. Okay. So for me, it's most of what would it cost you if you didn't have that? But you want to do the same old way you're doing. If it brings you results, then great, go do it. But for me, it's more of the benefit. And it's great to meet Chris is your husband. Okay, Barbara. Now I get that. Say hi to Chris as well. All right. Where do you host your training and venue? Now I try not to do training live, Barbara, unless you pay me more money than whatever. So a lot of the trainings I do it online, because the reason I do it is because I want to get into people's mind. So if you look at my page, it's called the Refugee Mailer. And one of the things we talk about there is trying to do business from anywhere. So if I'm trying to tell you to do business from anywhere, then of course, then I don't want to be able to, you know, if I'm here today, then I'm here today. So yesterday I was in Brussels. We did some training in Brussels. When I came back to Northampton, I did a training live and online. Okay, so for me, that's the thing. 6 months out of the year, I tend to go back to Liberia. So I want to be able to do my business from there and not be like, oh my God, I have to be in the UK to do my business. Especially now that we left Europe. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about it. the Europe joke. Okay, but you want to be able to do it. So it's about building confidence. If you want to do one, we'll do one together and just try it out and try the system. But if you buy, just try the system, the back office, and just play with it. So since I got a system, I'll do it. I'll call my friends. I'll call my friends and say, I'm doing a webinar. And they'll be like, what? Why are you doing a webinar? I'm like, I'm practicing. let's do a webinar. You know, so that's how I started to do really. But I followed somebody that was doing webinar, and I was just blown away. Brian Fanale, one of the co-founders of MLSP, makes tons and tons of millions of dollars on webinars. And we started to do that, and we've seen the growth of our business, right? So we use a bit of marketing, but we've seen people come onto our business purely just using webinars. Rather than being there, we can be right in front of our house or in our little jungle or room or wherever it is. And you know what? I'm doing this most of the times. I don't do this. I met you, I've seen you, I talk to you, and sometimes it's good. So when I started webinar, I'll have this where you get to see my face, but a lot of the time you don't get to see my face on the webinar. So I'll introduce myself then the rest of the time. So no one knows where you're doing it. The weirdest place I done a webinar was in my car. I done a webinar in my car, you know, park in a car park, and I was doing a webinar. They said to them, look, I'm out. I came from a meeting. I thought I would have been gone, but I'm sat down in my car, and people like, really, you're in a car park and you're doing a webinar and you're doing, yes. And it's about having multiple streams of income. So if you get nothing other than besides, you know, there's some of the strategies, I would say try using webinar. It's a phenomenal way, Barbara, and I'm coming right back here because you mentioned that, to grow your business, because all the tools and all the knowledge that you have, you can use that. And let me say this to you, for those of you who worry about it, right? It will not go perfect the first time. In fact, this is my 8th webinar, and guess what happened? You know, I saw just some of the messages that you guys couldn't get through and the sound wasn't. It happens. And yet it's the cool thing. You can still do that and make money. So why would you not do that? I would encourage everybody to do it. And if you do it, please come back to me and say, that's the only thing I ask a lot of the time. I impress upon people. If you use any of the strategies, just come back and say, look, you try, because then for me, yes, I get paid doing it, but you know what? I'm like, yay, I've done something to help another person to succeed in their business. So on that note, I really wanted to say thank you to all of you, to Annette, to Jacob, for being on the call. I hope this will just be the beginning of us doing a lot of training together, a lot of collaboration together. Barbara, reach out if you want to do more. We can do some together. We'll find a way to work out wherever it is. But I would say get onto MLSP, and then you yourself will become the leader that you so desire to be. Not only that, but you'll grow your business. I promise you that. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. A lot of love and blessing from this side. Take care. See you on the other side of success. Bye-bye.